Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. How are you all today? Fine. Hope so. Stay home, stay safe, children. Children, in the last session, we were introducing to you the making of Indian Constitution, and I asked you under the homework, what do you know about the Indian Constitution? So most of you have shared with me the outstanding features of the Constitution as per your 8th class knowledge. Coming to the making of the Indian Constitution, we have seen elaborately about the depressed classes party as well as the role of Ambedkar in the making of the Indian Constitution. Today further we shall understand about the background of Indian Constitution, and the scheduled caste stand for freedom of India as well as for the Congress high class Hindu rule, not for the Congress high classes Hindu rule. At the same time, Ambedkar also categorized that servile classes and governing classes. That means he divided people into social justices as well as the national, the other Indians. He stepped up his battle, opening channels with mainstream nationalist politics and emerging only sole leader of the powerful social identity groups in the country. Independence has become an immediate issue, and nation was in mood to attain the independence, and Ambedkar too was interacting with the British as well as the national leaders. Even in this scenario, political parties like Muslim League, Hindu Mahasabha had opened dialogue with him, with Ambedkar. This political turn had impacted the constitution making even. So as he met to the different sections of the people in the society, he started learning about the mood and about the socio-economic status of these people. The British rulers under these circumstances agreed to constitute a Constituent Assembly. This is the most important thing. In order to make our own constitution, first we need an assembly. So Britishers have agreed to compose a Constituent Assembly, that we call it as CA, and elections have come to elect this CA through indirect elections only. It was held with limited franchise. The Constituent Assembly was constituted on in July 1946 with 296 members. 296 members in July 1946. Before we achieved independence, the making of the constitution process got started. So these 296 members were present. The Congress has won 208 out of 296 allotted provinces. Earlier in provincial elections in December 1945, Congress has become victorious, and the Congress in this background clearly expressed its intention to behave like a mirror of the nation. Mirror means whatever you show, it reflects back. So they wanted to show the same kind of thing to the entire nation also, and in the Nehru's words, they said that they will stand as a mirror of the nation. Not one section or one group they take into consideration, but all the sections, all groups shall be encouraged. And within the Congress, the luminaries Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad emerged as a prominent Congress leaders. Apart from this, Alladi Krupaswamy Iyer, N. Gopala Krishna Swamy, Gopalaswamy Iyengar, B.R. Ambedkar were also the experts on legal issues. Ambedkar had many advantages even. He was a historian, he was an economist and expert of law and constitutions of prominent countries like Japan and many other countries' constitutions also he read. Apart from this, he emerged as a social justice ideology because he is from the depressed classes. So he emerged as that leader even. So he has that stature on par with the top Congress leaders. And above all, he brought in the social justice to the nationalism. Thus, he became as a suitable person to head the drafting committee. Therefore, the constitution has to focus on social reform and rebuilding. Dr. Ambedkar was needed despite lost the election, but entered the Constituent Assembly from Bengal and later from Bombay. So the Constituent Assembly thus was completely constituted. 296 members have agreed that it had two objectives. First, to attain independence and freedom. The second was social revolution. That means freedom from all sorts of oppression. Whatever oppressions were there, from landlords there were oppression, from the peasants, from the traders there was oppression, from the industrial side there was a oppression. So there was a oppression from different parts, from different sides. Yes, Radhakrishna proposed the third objective also, the socio-economic revolution, a transition from a primitive rural economy to scientific and planned agriculture and industry also. Rural handicrafts and peasant economy based economic planning, village based election to state legislature and parliament were discussed in the Constituent Assembly members, and they have agreed upon modern industry based economy. And British type of party based elections, parliamentary system also they have agreed, and all members had agreed in India would become one political nation with a constitution and a flag. This is what the discussions was held in the meeting of the Constituent Assembly. On the whole, social justice. What is this word social justice mean, children? We have come across this word a number of times, and entire constitution is based on this. What is this social justice? Samajika Nyayam. That means everybody in the society should be treated equally. That is the social justice. There should not be any classes like you are higher caste and lower caste. You are rich class and this is poor class. That is the social justice. So that was the agenda of the members, adopted by the members. After Constituent Assembly constituted, Jawaharlal Nehru moved the objectives resolution. That means what objectives should be present in the constitution, setting the nation's agenda for social justice. He stated that primarily objective was social justice to emancipate the depressed classes socially, economically and politically. All these years they were ignored, the lower classes people were ignored, so they should be given the proper identity was the first objective of the objectives resolution. And root cause of this was in the objectives resolution, and it was a product of 1940s turn in people's movement. It was a new dimension of nationalism, religious tolerance and equality of all religions was the crux of the constitution. That means the junction of the constitution. Without this, the diverse people cannot be united in the country, and they cannot be kept united for a longer period. Now you know it, our journey of 70 years after the independence was because of the constitution and their vision, those leaders' vision and those leaders' objectives made us to continue this journey. So the events, movements and even the ideologies became part of the nationalism. The same entered into the constitution. Whatever, with what vigor, with what enthusiasm we have participated in the nationalism, those same ideologies, those same movements have been put even in the constitution also. So what is really present in the constituent objectives resolution was, objectives was the basis to specify the need, the basic character of the constitution. On the basis of the last few years of the nationalist movement stances, Nehru came to the decision about the needs of various existential groups to make India a nation. It is not a nation of a few people, it is a nation of diverse people. So all their interests were kept in mind in preparing the objectives resolution. Further we shall see in the next class about the making of the Indian Constitution.